An important milestone in the legacy of Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley. CBS News has learned this land in Mississippi, Graball Landing, where Till's brutally beaten body was found in 1955, will soon be one of 3 sites for a national monument in his honor. President Biden will sign that proclamation today. The black teenager's killing helped fuel the civil rights movement. This announcement comes on what would have been Emmett Till's 82nd birthday. Elise Preston traveled to those 3 locations and spoke to the people who fought for years to make it a reality. A warning, our report includes some of the most disturbing images in our nation's history, which inspired millions to join the fight for civil rights.
The memory of 14-year-old Emmett Till is imprinted on the banks of the Tallahatchie River.
This landscape holds memory of one of the most painful moments in American history.
This is the muddy backwoods Tallahatchie River, where a weighted body was found, alleged to be that of young Emmett Till.
It's just so grotesque. And we're sitting in this place where his body was found.
It's hard to imagine in this moment that American society was so violent and so threatening against black youth.
Nearly 70 years later, Reverend Wheeler Parker Jr. has not forgotten the summer of 1955. He was 16 when he traveled with his cousin Emmett from Chicago to visit relatives in the Mississippi Delta.
Was he excited to go to Mississippi? Was this his first time?
First, they told me he couldn't go. And that didn't sit well at all.
On their trip, the cousins went to Bryant's grocery store, which today is swallowed by time. But in 1955, it was owned by Roy and Carolyn Bryant.
Miss Bryant comes out, and when she comes out, he whistles.
So as soon as he whistled, you knew?
We took off. We had to realize what it was like to hear that. This black boy whistled a white woman, 1955 in Mississippi. That's a death sentence.
Days later, armed, Roy Bryant and his brother J.W. Milam roused the family at their home.
I hear him talking. You got 2 boys here from Chicago. I said, God, we're getting ready to die. Shaking like a leaf on a tree. I closed my eyes to be shot. And they didn't shoot me. They came to take him, and that's what they did.
Bryant and Milam tortured and shot Till before dumping his remains in the river. His almost unrecognizable body, beaten, bruised, and bloated, appeared in black-owned newspapers and magazines across the country.
The black press helped bring the racial disparity to the forefront.
Till's mother, Mamie Till Mobley, held an open casket funeral at Roberts Temple in Chicago. Nearly 50,000 people showed.
She allowed the world to see what she saw when she opened that box that they shipped in from Mississippi. The face of racial hatred and racism in America. That act alone is said to be the catalyst for the civil rights movement.
Marvell Parker is married to Wheeler Parker. Their focus now is restoring the 100-year-old church building, which is in need of roughly $20 million to complete. Back in Mississippi, the Tallahatchie County Courthouse is restored to what it looked like in 1955. Patrick Weems helps facilitate tours.
There was a battle here. There's a battle for the soul of this nation, right, about who is going to win out. Are segregationists going to win out? Are they going to say that segregation is right and what the murderers did, is that okay? Is that who we are as a country? Or is justice going to prevail? And that day, we all lost.
An all-white male jury acquitted Bryant and Milam for Till's murder. Months later, the brothers confessed to their crime to a magazine, yet were never held accountable. Today, the White House will announce that the courthouse, riverside, and church will all be part of a national monument, the first of its kind, recognizing both racial violence and legal injustice. Brent Leggs worked to help secure the designation. He hopes it will bring attention to the estimated 5,000 additional black historic sites in the U.S. in need of $500 million for preservation.
It isn't for our nation to remain stuck in a painful past. It really is to challenge our nation to say that we can do better.
Nearly 70 years later, do you think of the life that he could have had?
Oh, yeah. Every time I saw his mother, it's like, I'm here, and he didn't come back. It's hard to believe that we changed from he got what he deserved to where we are now. I can't believe it sometimes. The wheels of justice grind, but they ran very slow.
Elise Preston joins us from Los Angeles. Elise, the memorial by the river was often vandalized. Are there concerns that that will keep happening?
Well, Nate, the river site, you could walk up on it and not realize what it is. There are overgrown weeds everywhere and just signs of untamed life. You wouldn't know that it is tied to one of the most notable deaths in U.S. history. And over the years, it's been disturbed by people who didn't know and also vandals. Now, preservationists have had to replace the bulletproof glass encasing a historical marker there more than once. So those preservationists and the family are hoping that this monument will deter vandals from disturbing that space there, because it will be a federal crime.
You know, Elise, we are in a 24/7 news world now, but we weren't then. And when you were in Mississippi for the story, you spoke to some of the residents who said initially they didn't even know about Emmett Till's murder.
Yeah, everywhere we went in Mississippi, we asked people, where were you? How old were you when you heard of Emmett Till? And we met one woman who was just a child miles away from where this happened. She told us that Black people at this time in this part of the country did not have access to newspapers. Just think about that barrier of information when people are trying to cover up what happened. She said her family stumbled upon a crumpled old newspaper with Emmett Till's picture on it. It had been tossed in the trash by a white family. And from there, they passed that newspaper along to neighboring Black families.
Elise, Carolyn Bryant Dunham, Emmett Till's accuser, died in April of this year. Did the family say anything about her never facing accountability for her role in Till's murder?
Well, his cousin said that they had held out hope for years that one day she would face charges. She reportedly lied on Emmett Till, said that their interaction was much bigger than what it was. She never faced charges. The family said that they never got that realization, but they're happy with this monument because it gives them some sort of restorative justice.
All right, Elise, great reporting, some wonderful interviews there by you. Thank you.